Hello, everybody. So this is my presentation on the uses of mobile devices. Um, my name is Michael Cahoon, by the way. So let's start off with some of the benefits of using a mobile device. Of course, first thing comes to my mind is that they're portable, whether it be a tablet, smartphone, anything like that. Tablet, you can put it in your backpack, purse, whatever, easy to carry around. Your phone goes straight in your pocket, depending on whether or not you have a massive phone like me. Uh, Mine's pretty big, but I can still fit it in my pocket. Uh, Another benefit is, of course, easy of use, easy to use. Um, my generation and the smartphones were just coming out. Mobile devices were just coming out. So, of course, we had the block Nokias that would hardly ever break, but all you had to do is just keep that on you, and you could call or text anybody that you wanted. Of course, later on down the road, uh, mobile devices were able to use the internet. Of course, back then, it wasn't really practical to use the internet with your mobile device because it doesn't have the graphics that we have now. Um, the interface was just all bunched together. The screen was so small you couldn't hardly read it. But now you got these smartphones where it is basically just a little computer in your pocket. Easy to use as far as texting, calling, browsing the internet, using the apps that you have, all that good stuff. Security-wise, security for a mobile device can go either way. Depends on how you use it. Of course, all mobile devices have a built-in security where you can change the security as far as getting into the phone. Most smartphones now have multiple options that you can use for security. Mine, I don't really have anybody around me to get in my phone, so all I have to do is swipe it to unlock it. Some people like the pattern where you swipe and I think it's three across, three down. I think it's nine dots. I think, and you make a pattern with the swiping. There's also the passcode security where you put in a 4-digit number to get into the device, or there's the passphrase where it's like a password to get into the device. Me, that's not that's too much for a mobile device. Of course, I don't use it all the time, and it's my personal device. Moving on, next is, of course, mobile devices have multiple uses. They could be used to call, to text, to browse the internet, to use apps. So let's say you work, like with me, I used to work at the Batesville jail, and we had this thing, it was called Guardian. And basically it was a really small tablet. And it had multiple uses where we kept track of the inmates. We would go around for our security checks and basically scan the tag that's beside their cell door. Later on down the road, we had it where they had to wear armbands, and we would scan that as well. We would scan their armbands whenever we gave them medicine. We would scan their armbands whenever they would go out on recreational time, all that stuff. Mobile devices also, I've seen some stores around here where they have the iPad and a card reader. The business would just use the iPad and with that card reader for people who use credit card or debit cards. In fact, when I was in the Army, that was the first time I saw it. Was when I was in the Army. I went to this place. I can't remember what it's called, but it was a yogurt place. It was really good. Anyway, it was a big business, but they had, instead of the cash registers and the bulky card readers and stuff like that, they just had a couple iPads with the card readers up top, and just swiped your card with that. So that's another use for a mobile device. Of course, companies who, whenever I had my internet installed, the the guy that came, he had a tablet with him in a case, and he would use the tablet to, of course, connect to the internet, um, and get in touch with all the apps and things he needed to do in order uh, to get me internet. So those are, of course, there's more benefits towards using mobile devices, but those were the ones that I could really think of that could be useful for this presentation. So let's go to the downfalls. So, of course, the downfalls of using a mobile device, of course, they're very easily broken. I don't know how many phones I've gone through because I've just dropped it. I've gotten a little bit better now because I have a case over my phone, but if you don't put a case over your phone or tablet and you drop it, and it's almost certain doom for it. I wouldn't say doom, it was more of a doom for your screen. Um, of course, they can be fixed, but it could be costly as well. Um, they're easy to lost. I don't know how many times I've lost my phone, and that goes towards the security. Yes, phones and tablets, they have their own security where you can put in the pattern or passcode or something like that, but they could probably easily be broken into. So mobile devices, yes, they're easily carried around, they're easily used, but at the same time, they could carry security risk as far as them getting lost and someone getting into your phone. Like for me, I don't really worry about it, but at the same time, I do because I do my banking on my phone. So if I were to lose my phone, then I would have to, of course, change all my passcodes and everything for my bank. That way, nobody can use my app for my banking. That would be bad. But those were the downfalls that I could really think of for using a mobile device. They're easily broken. Security wise, yes, their security is really good, but it wouldn't take anybody um, a very long amount of time to break into a mobile device. And of course, they're easily lost. Now, okay, so there is a question on there. What would be my personal what is my personal favorite mobile device? I would have to say Android. I've always used Android. I've used iPhone or Apple one time, and I didn't like it. Apple, it they have one connector for the phone or for their devices, and Apple is expensive, and I don't like that, and that's why I've always gone towards Android. They're cheap, they work good. They're most of the time they're tough. They're not easily broken, and if they are broken, they're easily it doesn't cost much to get them fixed. Um, the connectors, as far as the USB cables, they're mostly universal. So if you have an Android tablet and an Android phone, you could use both cables on both devices. Um, on the Apple iPods, they come out with so many different connectors that it to me it's just not worth it. I mean, this is my personal opinion about uh, mobile devices. I'm just not a big fan of Apple. I'd rather go with Android, um, because to be honest, they're more common than Apple. Therefore, if you get stuck and your phone's about to die at work, most likely there's going to be a person around that has an Android phone is like you, and they're going to have a connector, USB cable to help you charge your phone. That's probably the main reasons why I like Android. But anyway, thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great time.